Man, how is this? Are we really about to discuss about how a hooker and lies and all that tie in with God? Yes, we are. I like to do things that would, if you've been watching our uncommon show, we've been kind of ruffling the feathers a little bit. We need to be able to talk about things, all right, and back them up with things that really happen. That maybe the religious folks don't really feel so good about talking about. The name of this article is "How a Hooker and Her Lies." How could it please God? We lie if we're in that profession. Oh my gosh, a hooker, a prostitute. And man, look at all the people who Jesus hung out with. Look here, the whole yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Let me answer it why. I'm gonna tell you why. All right. If you don't feel worthy enough to be used by God, that's the whole point of today. All right. I want to tell you, you are so wrong. You are so wrong. Here is a prime example how God took what the world will call a terrible occupation um, and be able to use her because of her faith in God. So the point is, I don't care where you're at right now. I don't care if you're in the worst situation that you can be in. Can God use you? You dang right he can. Yes, he can. I'm Russ Snyder with Uncommon Ministries, and I want to assure you that no matter what you're doing right now, how bad it is, God will use you. God will use you. You know why? Because you are good enough. You're good enough. He loves you as much as he loves me. He loves me as much as he loves you. He loves everybody the same. No one's better than you, and you ain't better than nobody. It's all of us. Allie Patterson wrote this really good article. And of course, it caught my eye because, I mean, how many times do you see an article that says, hey, man, look at a hooker and lies, please God. Right? Remember, if you're going to read the Bible, you have to be ready for a God that you do not expect. Right? The one you'll find in its pages is almost certainly not who you think he is. And he changes in every situation. I think man, since the beginning of time, has tried to understand God. I don't. I don't, especially his timing sometimes. Right? When I'm down and out, that's when all the good things happen. Right? So if you're in a position where you're broken down, when God breaks you down, right, that's the time. There's nowhere to go but up. So it's time for elevate good time. Come on. All right, you can do it. All right. This God may violate your tradition and your theology. You got a theology, trust me. All right. He doesn't always reward the good, and he don't always punish the bad. The God of the Bible is the most interested in the concept of faith. Faith is our belief in him and our willingness to risk something because of that belief. Right? We put something at risk to let it go. We say, look, I'm letting my way go, Lord. I can only do only thing when I'm in control, it messes up. I screw it up. All right. He's not so much interested in you being on this corrected behavior. I think we all grew up in Sunday school thinking we have this God of law, we have to follow the rules or we're going to get punished. Right? He's not so much interested in correct behavior as he is in faith. If you read your Bible, you will meet a God who rewards faith, even when it comes to in a very messy package. Case in point, meet Rahab, prostitute, hooker, superfly snooker. I know how to hook a hooker. Yes, that was her occupation. She meant to pay her to have sex with them. Right? Rahab was a prostitute in the city of Jericho over 1,000 years before Jesus was born. This is funny. This is crazy. Only in the Bible. And somehow this Gentile sex worker ended up in the genealogy of Jesus himself, as recorded in Matthew 1:5. All right? Salmon, the father of Boaz, who was the mother of Rahab, a woman being mentioned in genealogies unheard of. All right? Yet alone a prostitute? Never. Right? Except it happened because the God of the Bible loved her. Rahab's story, her stories in the Old Testament and Joshua chapter 2. If you haven't read it, man, it is worth the read. Check it out. The moral of Rahab's story is that God's pleasure or displeasure with us isn't based on our good or bad behavior. It's based on whether we exercise faith in him. The F word. What a hard word. Right? It's tough. I know it is. Right? We don't understand so much, and so many other people and so many other things are being factored into the equation when we ask for something or we want something. We want to know God's in control of this mess I'm in right now. All right? Acts of faith are what please God. Nothing else does. Joshua 2 reports that a couple of Israelite men, all right, Israelis were God's chosen people, showed up to scope out the city of Jericho, which God told them to overtake in an upcoming battle. Right? They go to the prostitute's house near the entrance of the city, and they meet Rahab. She helps the men who come to her door, and when they come looking for them, She lies about their whereabouts to the king. That's risking life and death right there alone. Hiding and protecting them. She is lying. Ooh, you can't say that God likes a lie. I'm not saying that. I'm telling you what the Bible says. You decide. Right? And she sends those men off safely. And God honored this whole ordeal by saving her and her family in the battle, marrying her into the nation of Israel, and putting her into the lineage of Jesus. Come on, man. Doesn't God remember that he hates lies? Doesn't God hate prostitution? See, you do have a theology. Right? Rahab is actually celebrated in the New Testament as well by the authors of the books of Hebrews and James. She apparently pleased God with these lies. Oh, Russ, you shouldn't say that. I'm going to call it how I see it. If you got a different way, leave it in the comment in the section, and please let me know your opinion on it. You may have a different form or opinion than I do. I just going by what out of the book. All right, James 2:25 through 26 says, in the same way, was not even Rahab the prostitute considered righteous for what she did when she gave lodging to the spies and sent them off in a different direction? As the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without deeds is dead. All right, Hebrews 11:31, by faith, the prostitute Rahab, because she welcomed the spies, was not killed with those who were disobedient. It was her faith, man. It wasn't that she lied. God doesn't honor the lie. All right, that makes sense. He doesn't honor and like what she does. It's her faith. So why did God love her? Why did he save her? Why did he honor her when she did things against God's own character? And yes, prostitution and lying definitely opposes God's holiness. Sometimes it's stories like these that tempt people to accuse God of being inconsistent, maybe contradictory, but the Bible's clear and consistent about the characters God used. Look at who he used. Look at Jesus' disciples. All right, we struggle when that character offends us or violates who we think that God should be. Who are we to think God should be? He's God. The God of the Bible is not a God who always rewards morality, and he doesn't always punish evil. We see it. We see it every day. The God of the Bible is moved to love and reward when he sees real faith. That's the key, real faith. Rahab's story displays few critical ingredients of real faith. 3 ways. Number 1, she recognized God as God. Rahab recognized and believed that the real God was the God of Israel. She said, for the Lord your God is God in heaven above the earth and on the earth below. She didn't know him very well. She didn't know God that well, but she knew what she knew, and she truly believed. That was step 1 for her. The second thing is she risked something on him, risking something on God. She took a major risk by lying to the king, lying to other people, saying she didn't know where they were, and sent them on to safety. She risked her city and her life on this new God, or the one she didn't know so well. With her lies and help, she threw in with him. She threw it in with God. I mean, she teamed up, tag team back again. This means that her lies, and I don't know who they were, and I don't know which way they went. She said that, I don't know who the guys were. I don't know which way they went. I'm just a prostitute. All right? Those were actually her acts of faith in the God that she believed in. And the third thing she did was she acted. Right? She acted. She recognized God as God, number 1, and she risked something on him. And the big thing, man, we all talk about it. We all try to learn so much. I'm guilty. I am guilty of learning, not applying. Point is, I'm not acting. To act. Rahab seized the opportunity to act. It wasn't enough just to believe. She had to act on her belief. When those men showed up on her doorstep, she was bold and shrewd. She asked for the salvation that she wanted in return. Joshua 6:25. Joshua 6:25 says, but Joshua spared Rahab the prostitute with her family and all who belonged to her, because she hid the men Joshua had sent to spy on Jericho. And she lives among the Israelites to this day. Rahab lied, and God loved her. That's because it was a true act of faith. She both believed and acted on who she thought he was. The God of Israel doesn't deal with us in high expectations of a proper external behavior. Thank God. So much that he's interested in our motives of our heart. I always hear my mom say, God knows the heart. That's what he looks at. He looks at your heart. So if you're in a position right now where you don't feel worthy, man, he can use you right now. Probably more qualified than a lot of people who think they can be used. All right, so don't give up. Don't give up. Don't think God can't use you at any moment. All right, so if or as you read the Bible, be open to who the pages actually reveal God to be. And I challenge you to start it, Rahab's story. I know you're going to like it. I know you can do it. I believe in you. Uncommon Ministries believes in you. I was almost on the end and go, hey, be a hooker. No, you can't do that. I'm not saying that. But have the hooker's faith. Have Rahab's faith. She was in Jesus' family tree. And God bless you. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope that was good. Hope if you do like it, please send it on, man. Share it. Subscribe to us. We love you. Me and Chad will be on. We're off for Super Bowl, so we'll be on this Sunday night. We got a few special guests. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be kind of talking about why we get these things in us. All right. How much church can we get? How many of us have sat in the pews for 20, 30, 40 years and took in all this that we know and not done anything with it? All right, that's what we're talking about Sunday night. I love you. God bless you.